Hello and welcome once again to another episode of Third Action. I'm your lovely host Jason, and these are the same three members of the War Council that were here last week. In the bottom left we have Asher Ford, Human Ranger, played by Shaw.
Excuse me while I adjust my camera. Alright, I don't think that did much. Oh, my head's cut off. Alright, hello everyone.
Back to where it was.
In the bottom middle we have Greshy Ironroot, played Dwarven Druid, played by Will. Hello.
I thought you were going to call us angels, and I'm a little disappointed you didn't.
I should have. But we all know that you are, in fact, devils. And in the bottom right, we have Gunn, Human Champion of Rascal, played by Adam.
Well, 1/3 accurate.
I was going to say. Somebody's growing wings and it's got a halo and such.
Alright, so, last time on Third Action, our group of intrepid adventurers. What did you guys end up on? That was a little bit ago.
That's a good question.
You had escaped the fortress of Kraknaratha with the Spared, and came back the next day after some meeting invite shenanigans to find that your giant allies were in fact able to take over the fortress once Glorifex and the main contingent of rune giants left in the morning. You were briefed on the situation around the city. It sounds like there are a number of sympathizers of the giants that are willing to assist, but that all of the kind of remaining Tarzan forces, the higher up giant clan leaders, as well as the rune giants themselves, the Lamia, etc., have all split their forces between Shahlaria, the fortress up on the cliffside overlooking the city, and the main golden road leading up to the summit, hoping to block your path. And I believe you were working on a battle plan for the afternoon, knowing that it wouldn't be terribly long before, you have some till probably the evening before some chain of command notices that the rune giants that were supposed to be holding this fortress are no longer here. So you make haste to get some crafting in and do some other arrangements while you ready up for this evening's presumed conflict. So let me go ahead and get you guys on the map. So, what do you guys want to do? It is.
I'm making explosives.
Yeah, it's currently 11:30 in the morning. I guess let's see, who's with you guys? Bukak is here with you at the fortress. Go on camera, sync up with me.
Bukak with quotations.
Mm-hmm.
Best friend. Never lies.
Mm-hmm.
Bukak is there, and you've got some contingents of stone and hill giants, largely.
Those are so cute.
I should make these
They're just like
medium size. But yeah, we'll just about that. That'll be a little bit better.
It's good.
Medium. Okay, so you've got some giants here that have taken over the fortress. Yeah, it sounds like I forget the exact last things that people were up to and what they had already crafted or prepared. So if you remember, let me know. Otherwise, we can get started on what you want to do now. I believe everybody's here at the fortress, correct? I don't think anybody has run off to do anything else yet.
Correct.
Okay. So yeah, we can take this.
I did
in hour
craft-
increments.
I did craft Gunn's belt the night before,
Yeah.
so
Correct.
got fancy
yes.
belt.
So you can have invested in that when you get up in the morning. So it's 11 right now. UCAC would know that the rune giant who was supposed to hold this fortress is supposed to report back in the late afternoon, so around 7, in the 5 to 7 range. So we'll say 6 p.m. is probably your time limit before they notice something is up. So it's 11:30 right now. You have until 6 p.m. before they notice something is wrong and possibly send who knows what. Yeah, at the fastest, it's probably gore effects. You would expect that, being the big dragon he is, he can cross the city fairly quickly. So it would not take him long. So before that, you want to potentially get people into place, into positions, that sort of thing, to
Yep.
do some kind of onslaught.
So my plan was to help the giants remove their marks, their Sahedron marks, as many as possible, especially from the ones who are intending to come with us to the battle. And also go over the tactics with them. The general idea is just for them to just hit and run, cause as much damage to the walls as they can, and then retreat rather than engage the rune giants.
Okay.
They can fight if they want. I don't see any reason why not, but
Well, the idea is to draw the defenders out. They can fight, but they should do it after retreating as far as they can and drawing the defenders out.
that's fair. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, most of my day is spent doing that.
All right. So you're just working on planning. Char
Until
is
it's
Asher.
time to leave and meet back again.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm up to.
Yeah, just if you had any specific things that you were going to try and do before any kind of assault plan is made.
No, I'd probably just help with the assault plan at this point.
Okay. Okay, that leaves Greshy to do whatever crafting he's going to do.
I'm working on detonation charges. So, in terms of how many can I make in 4 hours worth of time, do you think? I have no idea what the level approximately would be, or if I can even make more than one at a time.
What are you? What's your goal? Like, what are you trying to do with them?
The intention is to allow for either some of the spared or just us, but probably the spared would help out, to place them near or underneath or at some of the walls so that we can drop them down for certain. I believe the giants are going to be throwing stones at the walls, and that should hopefully help take some of those down as well. But we want to take down as much wall as possible so that there's wide open expanse, so that the defenders are effectively scattered, trying to defend from all sides.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're just trying.
So if I
you're trying to take out the outer wall.
Yeah,
of
I just want to make. I just want to make like 3 charges or so, spread them out a bit, and then we can pick one of those walls that we're detonating to choose as our entry point. And with all of the chaos, they won't necessarily know which direction there is an attack coming from, if there's an attack coming directly in at all.
Exactly. Good job, Greshy.
Okay.
I remember.
Okay, so you
I
plan
have
on
steel
getting
to
some
work with.
kind of elite force up to the walls themselves to help do that while some distraction is going on. it sounds like.
Correct. We want to take the walls down, as many as possible, but at the very least, I'd like to make one hole for us to enter through. Ideally, taking the wall down entirely before we enter. Ideally, taking several walls down so that they don't know which one we're coming through. So, several tiers of okayness in that, but I don't know what I'm going to be able to accomplish in the time we have.
Yeah, I guess it's a matter of how much time you want to spend. Let's see, I think... sorry, I'm trying to think.
I have Hasty Crafter, which allows me to effectively increase the difficulty for mundane items, non-magical items, which I would assume this counts as, reduce it to 1 hour for a DC increase of 16. Now, I don't know what the actual DC is going to be because I don't know what level these detonation charges would need to be to accomplish what I'm looking for. I also don't know if they're considered consumable, because if they were, that would technically allow me to make multiples at a single time.
How much?
Seems pretty consumable.
Yeah, they are consumable, yes. How much black powder do you have? I forget.
I have 5,000 black doses of black powder, 50 bulk worth, effectively.
50 bulk?
I think it was 50.
I thought it was 10 bulk.
You're right. It's 10 bulk.
And we ran into it.
Yeah, it's 10 bulk, but it ends up being 5,000 units or doses, however you want to consider that.
Yeah, we ran into a problem because for some reason they decided not to actually put the bulk of like black powder horns and black powder mini kegs
in Foundry.
in the book.
Well, yeah,
that's true as well.
The books lack the description of exactly how much bulk they're supposed to do. So I think I went back to Pathfinder 1's description of effectively the same items, and it sounds like the keg option is like a small powder keg, like a smaller keg, not like a huge barrel. So yeah, we estimated that was like 10 pounds. So in any case, you've got 10 bulk worth, and that's 5,000 units.
Mm-hmm. I've got another 10 bulk of liquid steel to help shape actual charges with. I have one casting of shaped stone, but I don't think that's going to be useful here. I think that's more going to be for when we actually try to get it onto or into the wall.
So I think it's probably, if your intention is to just kind of use all of the gunpowder for this purpose, let's say that each 1,000 can take out one roughly like 150 stretch of wall.
Okay.
So you can split into kind of smaller charges that you need to place along the...
Okay, so I would need to line up several, but I could make several different charges. I need about 1,000 to make enough to break out 1,000 or 100 foot of wall or so.
Yes,
wow.
Yeah.
That'll do.
So yeah, you could do that in... I think this is actually not terribly hard to do. You've got a very high crafting score, so I'm not really going to... It would just be a time effort, so I would say it's an hour per basically 100-foot section of wall that you would like to blow up. So 1 hour for 1,000 charges would create, I'll say each of those 1,000 splits into 4 distinct charges that you need to place along the wall. So 1,000.
So I could take 5 hours then to make a full 500 feet worth of wall detonation charges, which would be 20-ish charges or so. Okay.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot better than I was even hoping for.
I would send a giant then as I'm working on this to let Gunn know, Gunn and Asher, because I don't know if that's going to change your plan at all in terms of how we want to arrange the giants? Because I don't know that we're going to have enough. I mean, we probably have enough spared to set it all, but the goal is also not to get them killed any more than we want to get the giants killed. So,
so the other, I guess, in talking with the giants and spared about this, you would know that the Shahlaria itself is obviously up on a steep cliffside. Getting the charges on the wall would either require getting someone inside to do an inside job, or climbing up kind of sneakily to avoiding any sight lines to place it along the kind of cliff edge, or like along the bottom bases of the walls, which are not on like a flat plane, if that makes sense.
I know the spared are fairly stealthy. Are they strong enough to start climbing on their own, do you think? Could they scale up the cliffside?
Yes.
What kind of tunnel access do we have in that area?
I want to say that
my thought is
built in.
I would almost like to send the spared out as I'm making them. So I would make I'd spend an hour, make the charges that I can make in an hour, and hand them to the spared and ask them to get them in place right away. That this is something going on as everything else is going on. It's not something that we're going to do after I'm done. We'll set the last charges in place once I've got them done, but especially if the spared can do their camouflage on the way up, they should be sneaky enough not to get noticed.
Yeah, but probably better to do them in one trip rather than to send people up there and back and have that many more chances that they get seen.
Well, if they're underground, that's the other side of the spared, is they can tunnel to get near enough to not be seen. I wouldn't be sending the giants, I don't think. I'd be spending specifically the spared.
Right. Well, I think we could wait at least 3 hours into the process.
So if you talk to them, they would be able to make it up they'd probably have to take the stairs and then kind of climb along the sides once they're up there, but okay. they could set the charges for you. You'd need to figure out some way to detonate them. It would be by sparking them with fire or fire spell or something. You would only need to hit one of the charges along a set of
a given section
for a wall. So you need to blow up each section individually. But...
I have produced flame, so I can do it myself. But otherwise, I could. Do we have any? Could we borrow? Asher has an ever-burning torch, if I recall correctly.
Can you use ever-burning torch to light things on fire? I don't know if you can.
No, it doesn't actually produce heat.
No. Oh, it doesn't? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Or it can't affect the environment.
I think I have a tinderbox in my old camping gear.
That could be useful then. Again, I worry because I don't want to set... I don't want them... I wish I had a good way of setting it from a distance, but... I have a flint and steel, so I can loan that out.
Man, if I had known this morning, I could have easily done it. I just did not prepare it.
Well, you do have the ability to make fire arrows specifically with your quiver. So you could hit something... I
can do fire damage.
I can hit one. I can hit a couple, really, as long as I'm moving about as I do it.
I mean, are the spared proficient with implements of making campfires and fires in general?
Do you mind teaching them how to use a flint and steel? I got mine back from the goblins back in, our first adventure, where I sold that to them temporarily.
They are not proficient with this, but you could certainly teach them over the course of time that Greshy is
teach them how to make fire.
The charges. But you only have 6 spared, so they could spread out across each of them. Or sorry, it's 6
Yeah,
spared plus
that could-
Marky. So you have 7. Maybe.
That could work. If they're willing to do that. I'd say we'll wait until the majority of these are made and then set out. Maybe I'll go with them as a... Or maybe Asher could go with them as a...
I would say Asher would be better, not because I know you'd be better for defending them, but you'd also be easier at getting spotted.
Yeah.
You're not quite as stealthy,
Okay.
especially with your glowing thingy doer.
All
yeah,
right.
your big lighthouse.
So I don't think we're ever stealthing with you again unless we find a way to cover that up.
Can you like drape a ghostly sheet over it? Is it solid, or will it just like go through and it's up there?
I wonder if I could give you my
We'll do some experiments later.
clandestine cloak and have that work for you or something. But regardless, if you want to send somebody, I'd send Asher. And
Yeah.
you know, I'm going to be honest, Asher, if you're not doing anything, I really think it'd be better to get started sooner. Doesn't have to be right away, but the sooner we get them in place, especially since there would be several trips to get all of them up there. I'd rather have them there now and not have to be trying to rush before suddenly Glorifex flies off to try and figure out why he hasn't been contacted by the rune giants who are dead here.
Hold one of their heads up above the door. Hello. Yeah, I could do that. I could be the chaperone.
So give me a couple hours to get some ready, and then if you want to run those up, I'll make the other 5 or 3 after that, and hopefully by the time you get back, we'll be done, or sooner.
Like, they're going to need people to stay at each station to light them.
Well, we just need to light them when we go to actually do the attack.
Right. So
We don't need them to stay there.
planting them by the wall and then leaving doesn't seem super productive. Because we'll have
Asher
to
and I
go
can
back
light
to
from
where
a distance, so those 2 that we get set up after the first couple hours of crafting, Asher and I can take care of. The other 3, we could have the spared help us with. I don't think leaving them there is any better than having them come back and forth. In fact, that might be more dangerous.
I'm not talking about leaving them there. I'm talking about waiting until we're moving in to begin the attack.
Well, then we're rushing right at the end of things.
So that would be, we start marching across town. Asher and the spared go ahead of the giants and us. They plant the charges. When they get our signal, they light them up, and then we all rush in.
Do we
They plant the
consider?
charges and wait.
Do we consider it faster for the spare to go underground? I know they're pretty quick and they know their way underground better than we do, of course. But can they? My concern is that if we have them go while we go, they're going to be slowed down by simply the maze of things underground when we're making a quicker overground traversement.
Movement underground through the tunnels is actually faster for the spared.
Oh.
And
Well,
anytime
then
you're
never
with the spared, it takes you less time to travel underground than it does to walk through the city.
Oh.
Flying is the
Thanks,
fastest
Mr.
way, but if you're hoofing it through the city streets, it's much slower. They have a lot of direct routes, and they know the maze extremely well.
So really, we need to send the giants first. If we're wanting everyone to get there about the same time.
I was thinking the signal could be when Rock and I fly over. That's when they should, like, if they see us flying over and they hear Rock do a eagle scream, then
Sure.
they can all light the charges.
That's fine. I would like the charges set sooner, so that way we have them in place rather than just trying to get them set up at the last moment.
If you
Oh, I realized I didn't give a
value
price
there,
for the
then
charges.
all
It's 100 gold per charge.
Okay, I think we can arrange that.
Explosives are cheap.
So that'll be 500 gold.
You're mostly just assembling housing and some gluey substance to.
If you see a value there that I'm missing, then all right.
I just don't like rushing things at the last moment. I'm rushing enough as it is, trying to get these all put together.
Mm-hmm.
So if things are in place and we're ready to go, then when stuff pops up that we're not expecting, which who knows when that would ever happen in a city like this,
Never.
we've at least got things in place already without having to worry about trying to arrange it last moment after everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to get back to crafting, and
All right.
I will go back to banging away at getting these things made.
Okay. So your 1 hour passes. Team.
After you have the first one, you'll want to teach all of the spared how to use it, like which side to put
Mhm.
where, and where to put the fire when it's time to light it.
I'm going to show Asher real quick, and then ask Asher to start educating the spared from then on. Because I feel like I can teach Asher a bit faster, since Asher understands me a bit better than the spared
A
would.
little faster.
Little faster, but also that Asher's got a bit more time than I do, since I'm really trying to put hammer to anvil. So
Okay. Yeah, it adds a few minutes to your time, but
that's fine.
Asher is able to explain the rest of the spared after you give him a rundown of how it should work and where they should place them. And Asher is able to relay that to the spared with a little bit of difficulty in explaining some terms, but they, for the most part, get it. You don't think there'll be any issue.
You know, Asher was able to teach a dog how to read. So I think Asher can teach the spirit how to put palms together.
This is what I'm saying.
I forgot about that.
Even
didn't
Greshy
teach
couldn't
Phelan
teach
how to read.
Phelan how to read, so
That's true.
taught him
I
how
like
to
to
be
say that.
real intimidating, though.
Yes, I read a book to him and he understood me. Taught him to listen.
Okay, so yeah, first hour passes, you do some a little training seminar. So you've got one charge. Second hour passes. At the end of roughly around the end of the second hour would be when Gunn and company are done marking over rebranding all of the giants in the encampment. Basically, they build some sort of temporary, just kind of flat circle brands to mark over the Sahedrons to disrupt their symbology. So the giants in the encampment are good to go. You have 2 charges. A third hour passes. You have 3 charges. Anything happening
Asher,
here or
if
no?
you at this point want to go start getting them set up, I'll get the other 2 sets of charges ready.
Charges. I will bring them along in my
Oh, yeah,
little
that's
basket.
actually what I was saying, is to get the first 3 and then go. So, it's funny, we actually
Awesome.
agreed the whole time. While we were arguing.
Alright, so with 3 charges, Asher is going to go with the 6 spared. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you want to take more geef with you as well?
Now that I'm scared now.
Now that you mentioned
I'm
this,
just asking.
Should more give? Oh,
You can also take less
do
than
we need
6
more
spare.
give?
I can
Yeah, how many do
put
we need?
all
We have
6
3
into the-
charges. Hello, 6 of them.
did you get a chance to teach him how to use the flint and steel?
But
Yes.
each charge was split into 4.
Sure, but you
Yes.
only need 1 person to set up those charges. It's not like you need to have 4 people per charge, or 1 person per
You don't
charge
need to
set
light,
up.
or you can light all 4 pieces.
They light in a string, as it were.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
you can. That's where, as long as they're set up, we just need 1 person per 400, or 1 person per 100 feet of wall that we're trying to explode. So we'll need
Yeah,
5
each-
total.
Each individual charge takes 3 actions to apply to the wall. Once you're at the wall.
Okay.
That's quite
I will take as many as I have charges +1, and Morgiv doesn't have to come along. Unless he wants to.
If you
doesn't.
offer for him to come, I would certainly not mind joining you. This is a heroic moment. I would love to prove my worth to you. And
Going
be
to
any
get
help that I
Morgiv
can.
killed. Let's go. Alright.
Alright,
let's
so you
go.
take 3 of the
All of them are worth the
generic
same
spared.
to me.
Alright, 3 generic spared, and Asher and Morgiv are going to go make their way
Off we
towards Shahlaria. And that in
Yes.
itself...
We just go to the wrong place.
Got like...
End up in the tangle somehow. Our tangle adventure truly begins.
16,000
Yeah,
feet.
Greshy wanted us to put it in the tangle.
I'm just gonna blow up the forest because that's exactly what druids do.
1,000
Yes.
feet to miles is 3.5 miles. We'll call that 4 miles with some elevation. And pull my travel table again, which I should just always have up at this point. Travel speed.
Because we just travel all the time now.
The spared go at a 25-foot speed, so they can go 2.5 miles an hour. So this would take about 2 hours. Okay, so Asher is
I was there
leaving
2 hours
at
back.
Asher's leaving at 2:57. Told you guys a level just us. Asher.
Oh no, that's fine.
How many
Yeah,
hours
it's
is it going to take to like everyone else to walk there?
You would estimate that it would probably take 3 hours for the entire group to get there. For the giants to make their way across the city.
Okay.
That's only 2 hours for the spare. And
That's
it would be
probably
a little
alright.
bit faster than 2 hours if you guys flew.
If it's going to take 3 hours for the rest of the giants to get there, they should be leaving now, technically. Because if they don't hear something by 6, then they're going to start sending people over.
One
And if they
thinks it's
start with by
faster.
sending Glorifex, they'll send someone right away. You can't take
Okay.
the giants underground. We've already established that it's a bit too narrow for them to get down in there.
Well, if you can discuss this with Gunn, who's the one who's here.
Yep. Are we gonna gather the giants and go and start moving out then? If we're gonna march across the city.
mean, Why don't you take the giants out? I'm going to keep these spared here, and we'll head out when I'm done. If I work another hour, I should be able to meet you if I go down underneath, based on what Asher's saying.
Okay.
It won't be quite the full 500 feet that I was looking for of wall to be able to take down, but I can at least take another 100 feet that way. We'll take 400 feet total.
Honestly, I think 300 is enough, more than enough for our plan to be extremely successful. We could all just go now.
All right. Do you want to come downstairs with me and the spared, or you want to fly up, go up on top with the giants?
I'll move with the giants, and we'll meet you at. We didn't send up a rendezvous with Asher.
You know, if that's the case, I'm just gonna go with Asher. I would have just, if we're leaving now, we might as well leave now and all together.
Yeah, that's probably the way to
I
do.
hold my basket.
Yeah, I did not. I knew it was going to take some time. Didn't realize it was going to be a full 2 hours for us to travel there. So I'm going to take the rest of the spared, and we're going to just focus on setting our 3 charges up then, and hope the giants can take the rest of it out with their throwing stones.
Okay, so shortly after Asher leaves, the two of you discuss the plan a bit and realize that it's going to actually take some time to cross the city, and you decide to go ahead with just the 3 charges that Asher's already got. So it sounds like Greshy, you were taking the
Can we
underground
catch
route.
Asher before he goes?
You're like maybe
Too far?
5 minutes or so behind him.
Because I don't know if if he doesn't know the new plan, and
I can hustle.
Yeah,
we can hustle and catch up to him.
Well, are you coming downstairs with us, or are you going above?
That
Because
works.
he's going on downstairs.
Oh, he is?
Aye, he's
Yeah, I'm
taking
underground.
the spirit underneath
All right,
the
then I
tunnel,
think...
so-
okay,
I mean,
well then,
I'll let him know what's going on. I'm going to take the spirit down underneath as well.
that makes sense. That means I need to talk with Gyukaku really quick and tell him the latest version of the plan, and that the attack will launch on my signal, which is the Eagle's Cry.
Sorry. I'm laughing at this tell Gyukaku the new Gyukaku. Yes, in fact, Keikaku does mean plan. Okay, so that's...
So I will flag down a stone giant, or a nearby giant, and ask
Okay.
him to find Gyukaku and have him come speak with us as we're getting ready to leave.
Us being you and Greshy.
Me and Greshy.
Mhm.
All
Fair.
right, so before Greshy leaves, you find a stone giant and get them to summon Gyukaku, who will
As soon
join
as that
you
stone
over
giant
the
leaves the
forge.
room, as soon as that stone giant leaves the room, I cast True Sight.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
What was that?
I'll tell you later.
Secrets.
I'd like to use a reaction to figure out what the fuck Gunn just cast.
Well,
Sure,
yeah,
nice spell.
it's the one from the third eye. So,
Well, I haven't used the third eye, so
fair enough.
Yeah, give me a recall knowledge check. This would be a secret.
28 to Arcana is my well, actually, I can do this private GM roll or blind GM roll.
Yeah, blind GM.
That one. There we go. Question marks. I rolled question
Greshy,
marks.
I would tell you, but I don't know if you could
Handle the
play it
truth.
straight.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But Greshy's curious about what you just fucking cast.
Do you know the spell level, Adam?
It's a 6th level spell. It's been heightened to 8th level.
It's like the 8th level. Okay. Greshy, you're not sure what he just cast.
Okay. I squint at him.
You see his
more so
eyes.
than
I
normal.
say that though.
You see his eyes like flare up and gold slightly. But
Are you
otherwise-
I will say that though. I will say, Greshy, I will tell you, but I don't know if I believe that you could keep your head on straight.
Is it the same thing that's going on with your halo and your wings? Is your eyes doing that too?
No,
More so than normal?
I'll explain once we're en route.
All right, sure. Greshy's gonna go back to kind of rummaging through his bag.
And then I'll step outside the door
Okay.
or whatever. I'll wait for Gyukaku to come.
So let's see. If there's an illusion within 60 feet, you see it as it truly is. There's a secret counteract check against any illusion or transportation in the area. Only for the purpose of discerning if you seek through it. If it's against a polymorph spell, you can see the creature's true form, but you do not end the polymorph spell. I see. Okay. So this would be.
we have a counteract check button?
I have
Um,
one that I just rolled for you, so I know your answer. But
Okay.
true seeing might. I'm not sure. I have a macro
You had
that
one
I
on
made
one
for
of your
myself.
abilities, I thought.
Cool.
In Break Necromancy, I have one, so I think you have one in your Break, or your Anti-Conjuration one.
That's probably true.
Okay, so you wait a moment, and you see from across the courtyard, Bukak speaking with the stone giant you just spoke to. Just kind of dismisses him to go back to his duties. You watch as Bukak. He's wearing these kind of pale blue, kind of flowing robes. As he makes his way over, stomping through the freshly laid snow. And as he gets within 60 feet of you, he starts at about like 120 or so feet away from you, as the distance between the two buildings. But once he gets about halfway towards you, you start to see the stone giant face kind of dissolve into this fleshy, kind of peach-toned skin. His face is much he's still got the kind of stern look, but he's got a very kind of like chubby, flabby sort of look to his face. He's still roughly the same height, a bit short for just a tiny bit short for a giant. But he's got a much like chunkier, like heavier build. You've seen plenty of hill giants around. You would know that this is a hill giant. But he just walks his way over to you. He seems to be wearing some like pretty similar looking robes, albeit a bit paler and rougher looking. In his illusion, you saw that it was they looked like they were fine clothes that were just worn down. In the non-illusion form, they appear to be much more kind of ratty and patched in a lot of places. Yes, he would approach you with his kind of stern face, and I'm informed that you wish to speak with me.
Yes, we are about to begin traveling to the fortress through the tunnels. When we arrive, we will be preparing to demolish some of the walls. If you leave now, we will need to coordinate the start of our attack with yours and make sure that your men can arrive before we initiate the demolition. So we need a signal for when you are in position. I think we can signal the start of the attack by flying overhead and having the eagle's cry signal the beginning of the assault. But how will we know when your men are in position?
We do have our own war horns. We could certainly use a signal such as that to inform you. Though it would obviously alert anyone around. That said,
that
our movement through the city, they would obviously notice us as we approach.
True. I think that your men will be the last to arrive. We should be able to beat you there.
Were your folk still considered to be hunting for us or whatever invaders? Is that still the standing orders for the others in the city?
Gukak nods. There are still many of our kin in the northern half of the city who are still taken to those orders, so once they see us, I imagine there will be some minor conflicts in the streets, but it should not delay the bulk of our forces.
Well, I see where you're going with this, Greshy. Could they disguise their movements using those orders, passing through houses on their way to spread out around Shahlaria? Use that to get closer?
I see. That would slow us down a bit, but it is not an unreasonable
Naturally.
task.
The two things that occur to me are if they decide to come and scout and see what's going on here at Kragnaratha, they're going to either send the dragon, who will find out right away, which means this place needs to be empty, or you're all dead, probably. Or they'll send somebody slower going, in which case they might be fooled by you all looking around trying to find us. So, those are my thoughts. I'm not... Gunn's more the tactical expert, so...
Anyone not joining the fight may want to begin their retreat from the city and their trip back home.
That would be difficult without the bulk of the force to protect them. There are still those loyal to Karzu on the road south. I would prefer
Fair.
to be with them. Most of those who do not wish to fight are those who are injured or malnourished.
Good point. Well, the best we could do would be to launch. If we see the dragon leaving, we'll have to launch the attack, whether we're ready or not. To keep him from flying here and slaughtering the remaining forces.
Yeah, Gukak would nod. We would rely on you to hopefully attract its attention, but should Glorifex make his presence known, you were correct. We would be forced to begin the assault early, or perhaps
All right.
make a rush towards.
Gunn,
Three
if-
conditions will begin the assault. At the sound of the war horns, at the sight of the dragon flying towards Kragnaratha, or at roughly 6 in the evening, 3 hours from now. Whichever of those conditions comes first, we'll detonate the walls and begin the assault.
Well, if you
If
wish us to-
Glorifex takes the skies, Gunn, would you be willing to bait him?
Yes.
Because I think, for better or worse, I think if he sees you, he's going to be much more interested in that than trying to figure out what's happening down here.
Yeah, we'll take to the air. I'm planning to be in the air during the assault,
Okay.
regardless.
So feel free to let out a war cry of some sort so that we know if we don't see Glorifex, obviously, in the air. But
Luckily, Glorifex is pretty obvious when he starts moving.
no kidding.
I will say that if you wish us to conceal our movements, it would almost certainly add at least a half hour to our travel. 3 hours may be a bit ambitious, perhaps 3.5 or 4.
When is sundown in these parts?
I think I've been saying it's been around... What is this? This is January. What's sundown in January in the northern hemisphere?
It's pretty, I mean, imagine be pretty early, and also we're in a mountain, we're in between mountains, so the sun going down is relative, because
Yeah.
there's mountain peaks
Does
in
the
the way.
sun
so-
ever
And then you
come
gotta
up?
account for daylight savings
Depends on
time.
how far north we are, that's true.
Yeah. Are we in like Scandinavia?
Joey's correct, it might actually be like 3:30, 4 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah,
Depends
we'll
how
call it
far
4
north
o'clock.
we are.
We'll say you're not. You can definitely go much further north.
All right, well, we'll be
I think this is
fighting.
more like Maine.
Sounds like we'll be fighting in the dark. Sounds like we'll be fighting in the dark regardless, so 4 hours it is. If nothing has happened in 4 hours, we'll start the assault at 7. But the preferred method is the war horns.
Zutek nods.
And of course, if you sound the war horns and the walls don't detonate, feel free to change course, run away. But we will be there.
We will do what we can. I cannot promise that we will be the strongest of fighting forces, but we will do what we must for our people.
Likewise. For all of our people.
Gikak smiles.
All right,
Great.
let's go.
All right. Gikak then turns and begins shouting orders to the other giants, and they begin to come down from the ramparts and form up into groups. At least they get really big.
Yeah, I was to say, man just grew up.
Whoop.
On that move.
There we go. It's fixed. Okay. Sorry, did I just miss some fools lefts in the chat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? 9 fools lefts. Isn't he at 11 already? Alright.
Yeah, just bumps him up to 20, I think.
Want me to succeed at whatever I'm about to do.
Well, it's true. You're up to something no good and dangerous, I'm sure.
I never asked
Okay.
where on the wall to put the charges.
It didn't really matter, to be honest.
Just anywhere. It's just a distraction, right?
We're
It's
trying
not
to make
really a-
holes. Ideally, if we can take all of the walls down, that would be the best part. But just make some holes.
Alright.
It is less important to me which direction we come from.
Okay. This conversation has taken some time. How long can one hustle for?
Give us 10, 15 minutes. Well,
Constitution modifier times 10 minutes.
if it took more
you
than
should be able to. You should be
if
able
it
to.
took, I was going to say if it took. Yeah, I'm going to hustle to try and catch up to Asher at this point. Then, I don't know if Gunn's coming with me or if you're planning to go up.
Yeah,
as
no, I'm
well.
coming with you.
You're coming with. Okay.
Oh,
We're gonna
you're, okay.
we're
So
gonna
you guys are all going
move
with,
quick.
and the giants are going to take their time marching through the city. As trying to
Maybe
disguise
they
their
need to pick up
movements a
some of
bit.
the other giants along their way.
Yes, there will definitely be some conflict amongst the giants as they're moving.
Friends.
Friends.
Whee!
Okay, so Asher, in the tunnels, along the way, I guess about 20-ish or so minutes after you've left the group, you hear footprints behind you, and a Spared calling out in Thessalonian, "Wait up, wait up!" Your Spared stops, and you watch as Greshy and Gunn and 3 other Spared all run in to the tunnel, slightly out of breath.
Oh, hello. You've come after me.
Change of plans. We're going. We're heading now with you. So
Oh.
let's go. We're going.
You okay, Greshy?
Just
Oh,
lots
no.
of running and just skirts and stuff. It's fine. We're going.
Yeah, we're all going together. The signal to start the assault once we're in place will be either the war horns from the giants, or if we see that dragon moving, or at 7 o'clock.
Man. Oh. Asher looks at his watch.
Yeah, we'll have to sort of figure out
I'm going
7
to get
o'clock.
him a watch one day. I should look
Invest in
up at the
watch.
sky.
I think you mean
That's
an
underneath the
hourglass.
Looks at his giant water clock. that he's
Yeah, water
taken with
clock.
him.
There you go.
Let me
Do they
take
still
out
have
my
water
water
clocks as an
clock and set
option?
it up.
I remember in
I
3.5
don't-
we
I
had.
don't think so.
A water clock and a spyglass.
Yeah.
And there goes all your starting money.
Water clocks are expensive, man. That's why you always pick banker. Okay. little Oregon Trail joke for you, fellow millennials out there.
They need money.
Those of us who live in Oregon.
Is
Or
Oregon
have-
Trail more of a thing in Oregon? I feel like it's just a big thing everywhere. We all love it.
It's just a big
Yeah,
thing
it's pretty
everywhere.
big
I'm
everywhere.
just taking credit for it because I live here.
Sure. That's fair.
Did play it back in school. It was fun.
Some Whispers of City Song are coming in. I'll grab those as soon as they're done. Okay.
On the Apple II.
So it was like 2:57 when Asher left. I said it would take about 2 hours for you guys to make it pretty close. So there is one thing of note. So let's see. So you guys, we'll say you. Let me think. 427. Yeah, sure. We'll say it's about 427 when you guys kind of get as far as the tunnels will take you, which is to the eastern base of the cliffside where the path to Shahlaria would lead. The spared have a means of cloaking themselves and getting up the stairs to the fortress unseen. What is your plan for this? If you're going up with them,
How
or are you?
much time would it? If we go up with them, how much time would it take us to get to a place where we would be more or less out of sight, like along the walls? Would it be, say, 10 minutes or so? Less than that?
Half an hour.
A full half hour to go up the stairs.
Yeah, there's still
How
like
many-
34
30
minutes of your
minutes of-
travel time eaten up just by going up these stairs. They're big stairs going up quite a way.
Oh, sure. I'm just considering. I have a spell that can help us, but it only lasts for 10 minutes. I can hit 8 people with it, but only lasts for 10 minutes.
With flight, we might reduce the time.
Sure, but then we're just as exposed. But we can definitely try flying. That's definitely a possibility. Though I've
Also-
only got very short bursts of flight when I do.
While we're walking here, have I ever seen any picture or likeness of the giant who was portraying Yukak before?
No. He looks much like most hill giants do. Like you've seen a couple hill giants. They might have looked similar to him, but you don't think you've ever seen any portraits of any hill giant ever before. You're not aware of there being any major hill giant commanders in any of the armies that you've already fought.
Okay. I'm gonna try to commit that face to memory though.
Okay.
In case I
Yeah.
ever meet him again.
Easily enough done.
And I'll mention, by the way, Asher,
Yeah.
Yukak seems to be sincere,
Oh, that
but
makes me feel good.
is not actually a stone giant, is actually a hill giant, disguising him, presumably so that his superior giant races will accept him as commander.
Well, that's okay. I was never really a goblin, so I understand. Sometimes you gotta dress
Wait.
a little different. As long as he's not Lucretia, I'm pleased.
No.
That's
No
true.
one, none of our enemies, no one we've encountered before, as far as I can tell.
If we were to fly up, how much time do we think that might cut? Overall? In half, in thirds, in at all?
You mean like flying up from the base?
If we went more direct versus trying to traverse the stairs, would we be able to do it in, say, 15 minutes? Or
Say you can cut 10 minutes off, so you could do it in like 20, 24 minutes.
20. I still don't have any great options for getting us up there, or getting myself up there to be specific. In which case, Gunn and Asher, if you want to try making your way up there, I'll be behind you. I'll just be slower.
Sure, I'm mostly worried about the spared getting up there more than
I'm
myself.
less. They blend very well. It just
Oh
takes
yeah,
them
I
a
could
bit.
just walk, but it will take longer.
Sure, but we've got a bit of time.
Yeah, I can always carry you. I can carry you.
You can, and just whether you should or not. I'm still worried about exposure, right, being up here. And as I said, I've got some options, but they're not great for super long times.
If you're... Morgiv would kind of speak out as you're discussing ideas. Currently you've like reached the closest building, so you're all coming up into the building interior right now. Before you exit out onto the street, and then you'll need to cross the street and then start going up the stairs. Morgiv would comment, if you're planning to come with us up the mountain, I suppose it's worth noting that it is fairly exposed, the stairs. We'll certainly be spotted well before we get up there.
I think it's best if I stay here, and when it's time to begin the assault, Rock and I will fly from here, fly up and over.
How hard is it climbing up the side then, if we go around?
Sorry, climbing the cliffside?
Sure.
Pretty steep cliff. Yeah, climbing DC would be a DC 38.
I don't think that's going to go well for me.
Can Phelan's spirit form move in any way that would make that easier?
For a whole minute. That the problem is all my great spells are last in a minute only.
Yep.
So I can fly for about 4 minutes. 5 if I want to blow a very high level spell. But I do not see myself. I don't see myself getting up there very quickly. Possibly at all. Do you have the scroll of teleport still?
I don't think that's what we want to use here.
No, I
But
don't
good.
either.
Good to consider it.
Morgiv would look at the other spared, and they kind of whisper to each other for a bit. He would turn and look back at the three of you. The attack isn't for another while or so, right? We should be able to... I think we've understood Asher's directions well enough. We can go place the charges, and we should be fine.
That's not the concern I have right now, but that's a fair point. At some point, the rest of us still need to get up there.
Yeah.
And if it takes us a full half an hour to get up there, we're going to be seen.
We don't want to do this as a frontal assault from the stairs. We want to be attacking from gaps in the walls.
Not everyone can climb. I think the giants are going to certainly have to go upstairs.
That does seem like that might be the case.
I think the stairs might be the easiest way. But I do think like maybe setting them up to be stealthy now and then then going up and just like accepting we might be seen and then shooting the charges.
If we went slower, let's say we took an hour instead of half an hour to try and kind of climb the stairs, would moving stealthily give us any benefit as part of that?
Yeah. I mean, you can always, go half speed and sneak your way up.
Specifically, I move in stealthily, because, we'll send the spirit up to take care of the business, and then in the meantime, it'll take us longer, but we can still kind of climb slower. And as I said, I've got a spell that can help us in a moment of panic if we need to cover for ourselves for 10 minutes or so, but it'll only last 10 minutes. So
let's send the spared first. So that if we're seen, we can just start the full attack with the plan as it was.
Yeah.
If we're splitting the spared into 3 teams, let's have them stagger the explosions. We'll pick one of the 3 teams and tell them, you do the detonation as soon as you hear the signal, the horns or the eagle's cry. Second team, your job is to wait, let's say, 30 seconds after that. Third team, 30 seconds or a full minute.
How do you want us to detonate them? I don't think we were told how to do that.
I thought Asher was going to show them how to use the flint and steel I gave her.
Yeah, that was the...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we just...
What if
I've only got the one,
get
Asher was saying.
does somebody else have
exploded on?
flint and steel?
I've got one. Asher had one, yeah.
Should walk away before it explodes. Is there like any kind of I mean Asher actually doesn't know about bombs. So never mind.
Morgif would confirm. Oh, right. We do have the one set of flint and steel that Asher gave us. So all we do is use it like Asher said, and it'll just work.
There's a
Great
wick.
sparks.
It's not a long wick, but there is a bit of a wick. You'll want to light that and get the hell away from it, because the ball's going to explode, and you don't want to be near that. Make sure you're keeping yourself safe. That's very important. Do you understand?
You don't think that lighting it with a flint and steel is going to give them enough time to also run away from the wall on the steep side of a cliff.
Well, that's all I got.
Without falling.
I can give them...
How high is the cliff? Like
That's
how high?
very
Can you
high.
make some kind
How
of
high
a
up is
striker or
the
something?
cliff itself? It's like
Greshy.
600 feet.
Sorry, what was the question?
Can you make some kind of a striker? A better way of like... I mean, we could give them torches, but then they'd be seen.
I have no time to do that with.
We have 2 hours here.
If I get within 200 feet, I can shoot it.
Well, that's the thought.
Best
If
I
I
have.
still need to be able to see the shot, but
It should be a pretty mundane item. And it only has to last to be used the one time.
unfortunately, the dedication for Scrounger does not allow me to make those kind of items for anyone but myself. Unless I took the extra feat for it, which I did not.
I also have 10 candles, regular candles.
That could work if you want to cut it to a certain length, and then we can have them light the candle. It'll burn down the wick of the candle for a certain amount of time. We'd have to cut it correctly, but that would give them a bit of time as the candle burns down before it actually lights the wick of the
I'm assuming it's
detonation
going to
charges.
be windy up there enough that a candle might not stay lit.
Yes.
But would lighting a candle with flint and steel and then using a candle to light the wick give them enough time to get away? Because it's a more solid flame. You don't have to be down there scratching it with to get the sparks going.
Sure. That would give them more time, yeah.
Okay,
like
then
it says
I'll
in
pass
Flint
out
and Steel,
candles.
it's not feasible to do it in an encounter, so it does take like more than 3 actions to Flint and Steel the candle,
Right.
and then use on.
Once they have the candle, they can sort of protect it. If it goes out, they can relight it, but yeah, that should
Wait,
help.
how is the candle working?
It's fire.
Yes. No, I mean, how is it functioning different than the wick would?
It's not than the wick, but it's in the flint. It's different than the flint and steel because it's an actual flame.
He's saying
Flint and
so
Steel
it
makes
was-
kind of makes
sparks,
sparks.
and the problem is they need
Yeah.
to be right next to it, hitting it with sparks until it actually finally ignites, and then they could run away, whereas they've already got a flame going, I guess. I'm still not entirely sure how that makes it better, but I guess since the flame is
So
already lit, they don't have to worry about it.
What does the bomb look like? Is it like a bomb and it has a little fuse, or is it a
It's a
bomb that's
string.
just like
It's a string of
C4
them.
where you're like,
It's a string
Yeah,
of
so
them,
it's
and
a-
there's one end has a fuse sticking out of it.
okay, there's a fuse on it.
But it's not a long fuse, and it's going to burn quick because it's basically cotton.
Yeah, so if the candle's like lighting the fuse, it's the same as like, if anything, lit the fuse, right? Or is the candle
Right, but flint and steel is a lot harder to use. Like you can never be totally sure you've got it until probably too late. You have to
Yeah, but
be
if they
down
have to
there
tend
scratching
the
it.
candle? They're just sitting there with the candle.
Sure, but once
Yes,
they
I-
go to light it,
So
they can-
I would
they can-
for your
Yeah.
characters' sakes, you would all understand that the Flint and Steel, they would almost certainly not survive or like be able to get away. The candle method would give them a small window, but it would be very dangerous. Because even if they do
Okay.
get away from the actual explosion, the wall is going to come down on them,
They shouldn't be
You
lighting
are
them at all, is what
blowing
we're
up a wall.
saying.
They can. They will.
so-
They
They'll
should
do it
not.
for
I
you.
said they should not. I didn't say they can't, but I said they shouldn't be. And
Look at their little faces,
so
ready
it sounds
to
like
die.
you want to do it with. You want us to do it,
They're all
with,
incredibly.
produce
They're-
flame and various.
I think
They're
so.
ready.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
originally thought that they could be more useful, but since I don't have anything better to really get them out of danger, I'd rather us do it since we actually have range with which to work with. Asher's got arrows and is a pretty quick shot with that. I can at least hit one of them with a produce flame without too much issue. I just have to be a bit closer than Asher would. Theoretically, Asher could hit all 3 of them within 6 seconds if need be, but if we're spacing them out,
If
it shouldn't
I
be an
hit
issue.
them. Yeah.
If you hit them, but I have faith in your, you're a pretty good archer. And you're hitting the
I'd
ground.
say
It's not
that.
like it's a moving target.
Yes,
They're
you'd
my
have
prey now.
Asher would have relative confidence that you'd be able to hit them.
I can hit
They're
them.
small targets, but they're stationary, so it shouldn't be hard.
Whatever. I can hit anything.
So if we'll ask them to get things in position, and then while they're putting things in position, we're going to start slowly making our way up these stairs, moving half speed to be stealthy as much as we can. Can we put anything over Gunn's halo to cover
I
it?
still think that I should stay
You want to stay behind?
down here and I can fly as needed.
It's a 20-minute. It's still going to take you 20 minutes to fly up.
Up?
That's. I mean, I asked if flying up would be any faster, and he said it'd take 10 minutes off.
Yeah, it's like it's a 30-minute walk or a 20-minute flight.
Right. It's 1,000 feet from the foot of from the city to the.
But it's also
or,
upward.
Or 1,500 feet over.
Yeah, but it is also
Yeah,
you are
the up.
still going up.
Okay,
And unfortunately, that's half speed technically. But
right.
I would agree if it wasn't such a long distance for you to still have to fly. And I suppose
And
you could
then-
wait until the last 20 minutes and then start making your way up, but it's up to you.
Well,
I mean,
was
you know
thinking
that
doing
any
the most of the
once the giants are
battle
here
from
and in
the air,
position
but
and starting to do stuff, there will be. It's not an instantaneous like 3-second battle. There will be some time for you to fly up
Right,
there.
right.
So it's not unreasonable to have everyone wait for you to get there before you start fighting in the castle. In
Right.
Shahlaria proper.
Okay, so I won't be
That's cool.
leaving myself out of the battle entirely by trying to do that.
Oh, I
No.
sure hope not.
Unless the party wanted to, you can certainly. Your military knowledge is such that you've already kind of informed everyone to. The plan is that the giants are going to start some distractions for you. That will cause some amount of chaos, confusion. They'll start maybe sending some giants down the path. You should have that time to fly up and join with your compatriots before beginning the assault on the interior. Because you ideally want a lot of the giants to leave the interior of the castle, or interior of the walls, so that you can have an easier time of dealing with stuff inside. So.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So this plan does not seem too terrible, although the time scale that it's on is a little bit longer than I'd.
It does seem it's different than what I'm used to, I'll admit. I'm used to us working in minutes and seconds versus us working in 20, 30 minutes. But if you want to stay down here, all right.
Just because I don't know that I can get up there without being spotted.
Which is fair. I understand. With the wings and such.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Asher and I are gonna go. Don't die.
No dying. Nobody die. I'm spared. Look at me and don't
Hands
die.
in. Don't die. On
Are we
three.
just going to set charges along the closest 3 walls?
Yes.
Yes.
The front, left and right.
Front, left, and right, and the next 100 feet to the right past that as well. So, since we have 3 charges to work with. 3 sets. Excuse me.
Alright. Or give the others accept their duty. They'll each take a few charges in hand and stealthily make their way up the mountain ahead of you. Greshy and Asher, you're going to take a circuitous. You're still going to just climb the steps, but try to be stealthy about it.
I cannot climb the cliffside. I would not do well.
I help Greshy up the stairs slowly.
Me with my plus 21 to athletics would go super swimming trying to climb those the cliffside.
Okay. And Gunn is going to stick behind.
But we're going to take it slow so that we can try and stealth.
Are Greshy and Asher, so as you're going up, I assume Phelan is in the pouch, correct?
Correct.
I believe Rock is inside the compartment.
The no-no zone.
Or in the no-no zone, yes. All right. Are Greshy and Asher doing anything additional to aid in their stealth? You're basically, to describe the stairway, it is pretty large stone steps, roughly, let's make the width of the stairs. The width of each step is roughly like 50 feet or so. And the depth of each stair is 15 feet, with a height of...
Well, what's the height of each stair?
Oh, sorry, the height of each step in between is like 4 feet.
4 feet? Okay.
Yes.
I can climb that. It's an effort, but I'm not that short.
Yeah.
So,
Pick Greshy up.
they tall, kind of
Climb
have to jump
the
up.
stair. Pick Greshy up.
There's not much in the way of... They're kind of carved just straight into the mountainside. So there's not much in the way of like side cover or anything like that. It's just kind of stairs going up. So if somebody were to walk down the stairs towards you, you could kind of try to hide in the shadows or underneath a step or something. But you're otherwise relatively exposed. So if you're doing anything about that, let me know.
If I do see anyone coming, I'm actually going to ask Asher to keep his eyes and ears out as much as possible. If we do end up running into trouble, I do have Chameleon Cloak to cast on the both of us, which will give us it up to 8 people. It gives us some ability to blend into our surroundings and a +3 bonus to stealth.
See, I thought you were gonna say I will use it on myself, Greshy, and good luck, Asher.
Good luck, Ashley. Well, I mean, you've got a better stealth mod than I do, but still.
He just like rolls down the stairs like I'm out of here.
I'm just gone. No, it does cast onto up to 8 people, so I would have tried it with Gunn as well, but Gunn, unfortunately, I think the glowy thing is just not going to hide very well. But
Okay.
if need be, I'm not going to cast it until it's such a situation as we need it, because it only lasts for 10 minutes.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, you guys are making your way up.
26 stealth.
Wait,
Is your
I have
modifier?
less
Total?
stealth than you?
Well, that's my mod.
It's the
Oh,
I
modifier.
have
Like,
plus 25.
That's
It's going to be
not good.
it's going to be
Less.
secret rolls. I mean, I can roll it if you want, but it's secret rolls for sure.
Your stealth is better than mine by
Are you-
1.
Really?
Yeah, I have plus 25.
Is actually not
Oh,
in it?
you know, it's my clandestine
I'm
cloak.
trained.
Oh, the clandestine cloak gave you an item bonus.
It does give me an item bonus. I don't know that would count. I think it's really a 24 in which case, because I think that item bonus really only applies to blended into crowds or into background sort of situations. Oh no, it does say plus 2 item bonus to stealth checks.
Avoiding notice.
I can
half
try
speed
no
once you've got
detection.
swift sneak. You move at full speed rather than half, but still can't use them directly. So, if you're doing swift sneak.
Do not have swift speak.
You're
Yeah,
not
I know.
legendary at stealth.
Neither is that.
Avoiding notice is certain tracker. Okay. Attempt to stealth check to avoid notice. Alright, so yes, secret stealth checks from the 2 of you, please, as you're making your
Alright.
way up the mountain.
That's a blind GM roll.
Or not mountain, but percent.
Oh, there they are.
If my roll is a 5 or less on the die, I'd like to use a hero point. I'm just gonna say that out loud.
Okay, you may wish to use a hero point then.
I still know what it is. I'm just saying out
I'm
loud.
going with whatever mystery.
You stick with it. I'm nervous as all hell. So
All right.
Whatever's happened has happened.
Let's see who is on watch today. Let's call it. What's the obvious thing is this? And what perception modifier is? What is it? Perception modifier? Ah, there it is. Okay. All right. So, the 2 of you sneak your way up, trying to be as careful and quiet as you can, sticking to one side of the stairs. Asher, you kind of helping Greshy up. Greshy, you boosting Asher up with each step. As you, make your very slow ascent up the stairway. You can start to make out from where you are the 2 towers that flank the stairwell at the peak of the stairs. You can see 2 massive ballista that are mounted on them that can be kind of rotated and aimed down at the stairs or into the city below. You can see the piles of rocks gathered on either side, and you can make out just barely the figures of some giants that are clearly there standing on lookout for creatures below. They do not seem to notice you as you are moving. Let's see.
Ooh.
What's that?
Phalanx formed. Oh no.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember what time I had. We're at 4:37.
It was.
You're going to take
Yeah,
double time to
sounds-
go up, so like 10, 20, 30.
Just keeps going back and forth.
10, 20, 30.
Ooh.
Whoop.
Ooh.
Wait, sorry. What are you guys doing?
Only lasts 10 minutes.
Oh,
I kept casting pest form on Phelan, and it only lasts 10 minutes. So when you go by 10 minutes, it just makes him big again.
oh, I see. I was looking at that screen. Okay. All right. So yes, you guys make it most of the way up. I'm going to say there's about 20 minutes left or so when you start to hear a pretty heavy rumbling footsteps coming down the stairs. You know that a giant is on its way down. You have some time to react, so if you wish, you can, since if you are, casting Chameleon Coat.
I have cast Chameleon Cloak immediately once. If I'm noticing that it's definitely a giant of some sort coming down, I'm going to cast Chameleon Cloak so that we can hopefully blend in better.
Okay. This gives both of you +3 status bonus to your stealth checks to hide.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and give me some more secret stealth checks then. And if you're able to, add the +3 status bonus in the little roll field.
See if I can do that automatically.
Otherwise, I can add it myself.
It's a status bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Add that, do this, do that. I'm going to throw points at it as well,
Okay, go ahead.
because I'm nervous.
Oh yeah, I'll throw some points.
Alright.
Fate points.
We're both at 9 points.
I wrote fat points.
Fat points.
Make sure the fate points are.
Oh, I wrote
bonus.
Chameleon Cloa.
An
Aye.
untyped bonus? Okay.
Chameleon
make,
Cloa is
Make
one
sure
of my
they're not
bonuses.
one of the same types of bonuses that you've already got, because bonus types don't stack.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
untyped is the best way. That way it stacks regardless.
Okay.
Okay. So as you're going up the stairs, you start to hear some or feel vibrations in the stone. You, Greshy, immediately cast Chameleon Coat on the two of you, and your skin, your clothing, all change color to match the stone surroundings, and you both kind of on two separate steps, huddled just up against the I don't know their terminology, but you huddle as close to the wall of the stair as you can, in a corner to avoid
In the
being seen.
crevice.
Sure, in the crevice of the stair. And 2-3 minutes later, you as the sound of heavy footsteps gets louder and louder, you watch as two rune giants, armed with massive glaives, jingling their gold they're kind of decked out in gold rings and jingly bits on their armor. But the two of them don't seem to notice you at all. They're kind of walking one behind the other, just casually making their way down the stairs. They seem kind of a little bit tense. They both have their weapons kind of at the ready, but they don't notice you at all. Just keep on making their way down. Once they're clear out of sight, you resume your sneaking up the cliffside, or up the stairs, and you are eventually able to make it. Let's see if I can.
You know, assuming giants even can climb these stairs twice as fast as us, imagine having to climb 15 minutes of stairs every time you go back to this fortress. Or even going down 15 minutes of stairs just to go downstairs.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, that's a long walk.
There's worse commutes.
Good exercise, though. I suppose. I'll go back to pushing Asher up to the next step. Go back to our routine.
Okay.
Crawl on top of Greshy. Drag Greshy up.
Yeah, I suppose with that, you're able
Gunn's gonna
to
go pick
travel the remaining 20 minutes up these stairs. Sorry, I'm trying to put you on the map so I can show you what it looks like.
It should just be like taking them two at a time, except that the middle step isn't there.
Hmm.
One big steppy.
One small step
this
for
works,
giants.
at least for two of you who are here. Alright, you make it
Hello.
to the fortress
Ooh.
of Shahlaria. You can see, so
What's up,
you're
Shahlaria?
kind of at the last big stair. I will put down some forces here in a bit, but there's some giants up on the ramparts. This front main gate is currently open. The gate retracts into the walls on either side, and they have these rather large barricades made of spiked, basically logs, banded together. There's a pretty large catapult set up here, just in the courtyard, and in the center of the courtyard, you can see is that his size? That is his size. The dragon Glorifex, currently curled up in the snow. His body heaving, is clearly taking like big heavy breaths, crackling with electricity with every breath. There are some rune giants near him, or two
Jeez, they're
rune
huge.
giants immediately beside him. Yes, they are all pretty large. Actually, Glorifex is supposed to be slightly bigger.
I was going to
Glorifex,
say,
where are
they're
you?
the same size as the dragon. Damn.
It's not
I mean,
bigger.
I made the dragon bigger. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Glorifex is
Mickey
a very
Mouse.
big, gargantuan creature. Oh, yes, Mickey Mouse. I shouldn't do that on screen.
Secret Mickey.
Dark.
Don't sue us, Disney. We're sorry.
Summon the Eldritch horrors. Okay, yeah, so there's two rune giants there. There are some various giant troops up on the walls, etc. And so, I guess now that
Fun.
you're here, you can start to. Well, I guess what do you want to do? There's also probably some frost giants out in the courtyard. Fire giant troop. There's more giants just
the
scattered
right
around.
spell for today.
Ooh.
I definitely prepared the right spell for today.
What is the spell for today?
It's called Horde Wilting.
Ooh.
It's not a very nice spell, though.
Ooh. I don't
But-
feel very nice today.
Well, that's good, because we may not be nice to them. That said, do we see any signs of either the spared or of their work?
That's a good question. So, you up against the wall, there is just kind of like the smallest bit of ledge, so you can kind of walk along the walls if you wish, to go inspect and see where the charges might be placed. But currently blocking your view are these two massive statues by either side of the wall. Or by either
Alright,
side
I
of
think
the
we will then.
gate.
Statue.
The instructions were to do the 100 feet to the left of the gate and then the 200 feet to the right. So, I'm gonna check the right and just see if that's where they got to,
Oh yeah.
and assume they did the other side if they did.
Those swamp places.
Yeah,
So
you
we're
guys
moving
start to make your way along the
stealth
side
speed,
here.
15 feet at a time.
Yeah, just sneaking your way along. There's just barely enough that you don't have to acrobatics as you're sneaking, but if you were to try to run, you certainly would need to. It's very rocky and cold and slippery thanks to the snow. But as you make your way around, you're able to see that they do have the charges placed exactly where you indicated, along the bases of the wall. You don't spot the spared immediately, but you could try to search for them if you wish. But you imagine that they're probably invisible currently, or as
that's a good point. I will actually try to search for them as I go along, because I would like to signal them to leave, get back safely as much as they can, because when things start popping off here pretty soon, it's going to get dangerous real quick. So I'll try and I'm just going to try and search basically as I'm walking along in front of me in the cone.
Okay. Perception check, please.
To seek. Perception. Is this blind or is this normal?
Either way is fine. You can sure.
We'll do it
it.
blind.
So-
It's fun that way.
Yeah, blind.
I help seek them.
I pressed
Yes,
the blind
you may
button.
help
It's
to
too
seek
late
them.
now.
Let us seek. Hide and seek.
As you're making your way along the side of the wall carefully, trying not to be seen, but also trying to find wherever the spared might be. Asher, you do notice what was it? Yeah, basically up here, a little ways to the northwest along the wall, there's a kind of just a little bit of a cubby hole in the. It's kind of a dent in the actual the wall itself. It's not like perfectly built. So there's a section of the wall that's like a little bit cupped in, and you can see just slightly shimmering what you imagine is probably the arm of one of the spare. That's not fully perfectly camouflaged.
Greshy, look.
Where am
Asher's
I?
gonna point toward the cubby while whispering.
Oh.
There, I think.
You think?
Yeah. Saw
Hey.
shimmer.
Hey, I don't know who's over there. It's us. I'm saying this in Thessalonian. I'm saying it in Thessalonian. Thessalonian's kind of weird. It's been meta that way.
I'm saying
You
that's
watch as Morgiv partially reveals himself, sticks his head out of the cubby.
You're here. That is good. You've made a safe trip, I take it.
We did. We need to get you to safety. I don't know the best way to do that. Actually, as I'm thinking about it, since shaped stone hasn't really been needed yet, is it possible for me to make a divot that I think would be safe from a blast of wall blowing out in the rock in the side of the mountain that I could hide them in? Could I expand this, for example, and make it like a little shelter for them?
Shaped stone, 10-foot cube of stone. Yeah. It's too precise too crude to do intricate parts, fine details, moving pieces.
Yeah, I'm just really trying to make some, like a blast shelter, ideally, so that the blast goes over them and doesn't
Sure,
blow
yeah,
them up.
you can try to
But I
make,
don't know if that would be sufficient.
Probably not right here in this section of wall that would get blasted, but if you were to, say, make your way a little bit past that section, to maybe kind of this north bit over here, you think that would certainly be doable.
All right. Okay. Where are the others? Are they here too? I can't tell. You're all very good at this height then.
Yes, there's a few over there,
And he'll kind of reach out and wave, and you'll see a few spared appear along the
Just walk
path
right past
behind you,
There they are.
and then he'll point
good.
in the other direction
Right.
where there's
Very
a couple
close
more
to the
spared.
blast.
All right.
My goodness, look at them all.
So
Indeed.
I'm going to head over here and make a little cubbyhole for y'all to hide out in for now. And then hopefully the battle will start soon, and in the middle of it you can all run away. Because I don't want y'all hurt.
What about detonating the blasts?
We'll take care of that, I think. Or here.
Right.
I appreciate you being willing, but I do not want y'all hurt. You've put yourselves at risk enough for us already.
Whatever you think best.
And Morgiv will signal to the others, and they'll move to start joining you over there.
All right. Keep moving over this direction. Just in bits and bursts. And we'll get to about there, and oh, it's only 2 actions to cast this, so we're gonna make ourselves a small shelter for them to hopefully hole up in, literally, away from the blast, so that when Gunn sets everything off here soon, they'll be okay.
Okay.
While we're
it does
doing
have
that, Asher,
it
can
does
you...
have the verbal component, right? It will make some noise when you do this.
It does. I will make some noise. And unfortunately, I can't tell where the giants are above us, so I have no way
Can
to...
I listen with my perceiving ears to see if there's
So-
anyone above us?
Good catch.
Sure. Yeah.
I could
for
listen to see if someone's walking. Wee.
Okay. Yeah, you listen out. You, I guess, stop Greshy for a moment to take a listen and make sure there's nobody up above you. And you do hear the heavy footsteps of some giants walking around up on the ramparts. Your guess is maybe 10 of them.
Giants walking. There's a bunch of giants up there, so let's be as quiet as possible.
I'm going to reach very carefully into my bag, into one of the barrels in my bag, and start fishing around at these first stones that I have in there. I want to see if I can find one that may help me conceal or deafen or silence the spell as I'm casting it to make it quieter. I know they have some sort of additional, meta magical effect, but I do not know what they do or how they work, and I'd like to try and figure that out on the fly, if at all possible.
Okay. Give me a nature check then.
All right. Where's my things?
Make it a secret nature check. A blind one.
You would ask me for that. That's fair. I'm gonna throw whatever points I have left at it. Do I have 6?
Yeah, 6 points.
4? 6 points. Fate points. Untaped. 6. And we'll make this a blind roll. Just all the secret checks. Look at all that pink.
So many secrets. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Too many.
So, fishing around for the first stones that you stole from, lifted from the rune forge, from one of the runes in the transmutation wing of the rune forge. You fish around for them. You start trying to. Do you have read aura or detect magic today?
I actually have read aura prepared.
Okay, so
Point of
yeah,
fight.
you're able to try to kind of read the aura of these things. They do seem to have meta magical properties. Each one seems to have different properties, but you're able to kind of pull out 6 that you think might resonate with the spell the best, and you arrange them in a kind of focus pattern on top of the earth that you hope will maybe assist in silencing the spell. So, yeah, you think you could try to cast through these 6 gems using an extra action to cast.
I've not done this before, but we'll try it now. And we will attempt to channel the energy of our shaping of the stone through these gems as we try to silently make a bomb shelter for the spared.
Okay. So instead of vocalizing the words, you attempt to just kind of breathe them out. And as you do so, each stone lights up in turn, glows brightly, and then begins to meld with the earth. The spell does in fact take shape. You've lost those 6 stones, but you have silently cast Shape Stone. They seem to have properly resonated with the transmutation magic in this spell.
Oh, that's nice. I will reduce the bulk I have of that by 10 then.
Okay.
Or 5. How much do you think I should reduce?
I think I gave you an individual count.
Oh, you just gave me straight up 100, didn't you?
Yeah, you have 100, so yeah, just remove 6 of them.
I'll just reduce by 6 there. All right. No idea what the rest do, but we'll find out as we go along. But all right, if you all want to hide in here, Asher, we do need to find a good place for you to trigger one of these from. I think I'm just going to fly away a bit and try and trigger it with Produce Flame.
That's true. I'm at a weird angle to shoot things.
I'll give you guys the exact positions of those, but so as the spared all climb into their makeshift shelter that you built for them, you look down out over the city. You hear, you hear some horns begin to sound from the giants on the walls. For a brief moment, you fear that you've been spotted, but you start to hear shouting in Yotun, something happening down below! And you look out and you can start to see signs of smoke and fire starting to appear in some buildings down in the city. And that is where we shall leave off for tonight, as things begin to get underway. So, hope you all have fun.
What did you do, Gunn?
Gunn's destroying the city.
Gunn's been lighting fires down.
Finally, they're gone.
Gunn is creating chaos.
Pyromaniac as soon as I'm left alone.
Yeah. Just a firebug. We'll find out what he's been up to soon.
Yep. We'll be back next week, I think. The 14th.
Aye.
Yeah.
Tune your clocks to that time, fellas. Bye.
Right now?
Bye. Huh?
No. It is now next week. We're going to start again.
Yes. Set them to next week, right this moment. Have a lovely evening, everyone. I hope you all had some nice times. Thanks for joining us. Bye. Bye.